we are back again with another exciting video. Oh yeah, it is a beautiful day in the month of July, and we got a few things to talk about today. And yeah, I know how it goes. They say, why are you always talking about things which are happening in the States? Here's why. If America gets the sniffles, Canada catches a cold. What happens there affects what happens here. Trust me, that's the way it goes. Even though we have our own different culture here, yeah, that is a bit different, but the spirit behind it is the same. And for those who do not know, China is actually in control of Africa. If you did not know that, except for, from what I understand, Swaziland.
China is taking over Africa, one country at a time. At this point, you may be pondering questions like, what is China's plan exactly? This includes the $12 billion coastal railway in Nigeria, the $4.5 billion Addis Ababa-Djibouti railway, and the $11 billion megaport, and an economic zone at Bagamoyo. It is estimated that over 10,000 Chinese-owned firms are currently operating throughout the African continent. And the value of Chinese business there since 2005 amounts to more than $2 trillion, with $300 billion in investments currently on the table.
Here's what happens. First, China approaches a small, impoverished nation, usually in Africa, with an offer it can't refuse. Stadiums, palaces, roads, ports, it doesn't really matter what it is. Between 2000 and 2019, Chinese banks have loaned an estimated $153 billion to African governments alone. Looking at a map, it's hard to find a place on the continent that hasn't taken Chinese loans. Inevitably, the project fails. Trains sit empty, airports open without flights, roads lead to nowhere, and an oil refinery runs at just 6% capacity. In fact, it almost seems like China wants them to fail. Finally, the coup de grace. After the fanfare has subsided and the recipient country is left right back where it started, plus crumbling roads and mountains of debt, in swoops China. It generously offers to forgive the loans, and all it asks for is one thing in return: a tiny, insignificant piece of its sovereign territory. And voila, China has a new military base.
But China almost has full control of Africa. And what are we worried about? Oh, white supremacy. We couldn't make sure of white supremacy. That's the problem. No, that's not the problem. That is what's called a distraction. Anyway, let's go.
Houston, we have a problem.
Okay, let's get straight into this situation. China apparently has major, if not most, control over Africa. I'm going to play a little clip from the news report, so just to see I'm not just making this up. Now you can check for yourself. Also, there is a war in the Congo, from what I hear, and that is over resources. These things are being avoided talking about in the news. But if you go on the internet, check this out, look this up. These are the important stories. Forget the fluff and the other stuff. It is a distraction from what is really going on in the world. And Mr. Joe Biden's new hiree for the office of nuclear energy. Check this guy out. Of course, we all know, well, some of us don't, it is a member of the alphabet community. Nice. And of course, surprise, surprise, he has a troubled past. And when I say troubled, I don't mean like he stole a chocolate bar. I am talking about some really let's just put it this way, questionable things going on.
Most illogical.
Roll the tape.
Welcome to the newest diversity hire. This is Samwell Britton, otherwise known as Meth Head Matt Damon. Isn't that redundant? Doesn't make any sense. Anyhow, this goofball over here is Joe Biden's newest esteemed head of nuclear waste management.
What the is going on?
Looks like they're drinking the spent fuel wastewater as opposed to managing it. But hey, what are you going to do? Stunning and brave. Stunning and brave. Again, Sam Brinton, Deputy Assistant Secretary of Spent Fuel and Waste Dispositions. Oh shit, disposition? This person over here was into underage gay boy prostitution? I'm fucking really flabbergasted. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And by the way, they found the tamest fucking pictures of this goofball. Tamest pictures. Again, there's a picture of this fucking weirdo, and he's next to these other goofballs, and they're in like leather dog gimp fucking suits. It's crazy.
This is the type of situation you can expect to be coming to Canada. It is already here, but you can expect it to accelerate. So, and they like to use the word tolerance, which means you tolerate everything. You start with small stuff and you work your way up. And by the time you realize what's happening, because you tolerate everything. Oh, well, we have to be fair. That only goes so far. When they start impacting people's lives in a negative way, which they will do because these people have problems, by the time you realize it, it's going to be too late. You're going to be too old, and your children are going to have to pay the price. And then when you get old, what are you going to say? Well, I don't know what happened. Yes, you do. You let these things go and said nothing. You say nothing, you get nothing.
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.
That's all for today. Hope to see you next time for even more science.